Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Just a few weeks ago, the former Social Security Commissioner, Martin O'Malley, said that because of Elon Musk and Doge gaining access to the Social Security system, they were going to mess around with it enough that payments could end up getting missed and possibly delayed for months on end. He predicted this would take place at some point within the next 30 days. But now, the current acting Social Security Commissioner is saying that payments may actually be halted if one specific thing does not happen. In today's video, we are going to go over everything you need to know. Now, let's get into today's update. If we backtrack just a few weeks, Martin O'Malley, the former Social Security Commissioner under President Biden, warned that because Elon Musk and Doge were gaining access to the Social Security system, they might be able to see confidential information about Social Security recipients, including Social Security numbers, birth certificates, and other sensitive details. His concern was that they could mess around with the system, perhaps even unknowingly causing it to glitch, resulting in missed payments. If this happened, it could take months to fix, especially with layoffs affecting Social Security employees who have the expertise to run these complex systems, which still rely on older COBOL technology to process payments. Just recently, however, the current acting Social Security Commissioner has said that a judge's ruling may also contribute to delays in Social Security payments. We need to break down what this means and how it could affect you. According to a CNBC report, Social Security has never missed a payment before, but actions taken by Doge could lead to an interruption in benefits. This aligns with what Martin O'Malley originally warned about, that interference from Doge and Elon Musk's team could cause disruptions. A federal judge recently ruled against unlimited access for Doge to Social Security's internal systems. While they still retain some access, they are no longer able to view personal details such as Social Security numbers, names, and birth certificates. According to ABC News, the Department of Government Efficiency's approach to identity fraud at the Social Security Administration was described by the judge as hitting a fly with a sledgehammer. The judge ruled that the Trump administration had never justified the need for Doge to have access to such sensitive information, and the way they handled it likely violated multiple federal laws. Over the past several weeks, Elon Musk and his team at Doge have made various claims regarding Social Security fraud, suggesting that dead people were still receiving benefits. There was a chart showing people allegedly over the age of 150, 200, and even 300 still marked as alive in the system. However, these numbers can be misleading because when the Social Security Administration doesn't have an exact birth date on file, they automatically assign a placeholder date, which can make someone appear much older than they really are. That does not necessarily mean they are actually receiving payments. That said, there is still the possibility of fraud occurring, where someone could be using another person's Social Security number to collect benefits. While Musk and Doge claimed they wanted to investigate this fraud, the judge ruled that they should not have unrestricted access to personal data. As a result, the Social Security Administration has now been ordered to revoke Doge's access to personally identifiable information and destroy any data they previously collected. They can, however, continue using anonymized data for their research. He has suggested that if Doge cannot access personal Social Security data, then no Social Security employees should be able to access it either. According to a Rolling Stone report, Duck is now threatening to halt Social Security payments entirely. His argument is that if the judge is dictating who can and cannot access information, then the judge should be responsible for figuring out how to run the agency. Duck stated that Doge-affiliated individuals were supposed to be handling fraud prevention and IT security for the Social Security Administration. By cutting off Doge's access, the judge's ruling has essentially disrupted the agency's ability to operate as intended. In response, Duck is claiming that he may need to shut down access for all Social Security employees, which could lead to significant payment delays. This brings up a major concern for Social Security recipients. If payments are delayed, it could create financial hardship for millions of seniors, disabled individuals, and other beneficiaries who rely on these funds to cover their basic expenses. The big question now is whether the judge will revise the order to allow limited access for Social Security employees while still blocking Doge from unrestricted entry. Many critics argue that Duck's response is extreme and unnecessary. they point out that Social Security employees have always had access to the system and that Doge's involvement is a recent development. Before Musk and Doge entered the picture, Social Security payments were processed as usual without issue. Opponents of Duck's stance believe he is using this situation as a political statement rather than a genuine administrative concern. So, what happens next? Well, there are a few possible outcomes. First, the judge could modify the ruling to allow Doge some limited access under stricter oversight. This would enable fraud detection efforts to continue without exposing personal data. Second, the Biden administration could step in and appoint a new commissioner who does not take as hard of a stance as Duck. Third, Congress could intervene and pass legislation clarifying how Social Security data should be managed. Finally, if Duck follows through on his threat to shut down access, it could lead to widespread outcry and force a resolution. What do you think about this situation? Do you agree with the judge's ruling that Doge should not have access to sensitive information? Or do you think Musk and Doge should be allowed to investigate fraud? And what are your thoughts on the Social Security Commissioner's response?